Hi, my name's Shivani, and learning how to decipher my dreams changed my life. And I'm hoping to be able to do the same for you. So you are welcome to send in, either email me or put in the comments your dreams, and let's decipher these dreams. Okay, now it's time for a dream. This is a really long dream that KAP Helps sent me. Had a dream Monday 3/31/25 as Neptune slowly entered into Aries. Interesting. In the wee hours of the morning, I was in an old Belgium town. We were dressed in long dresses and our hair was done up, drinking mixed drinks, having a good time with lots of friends, a party atmosphere. I had black bangs that I kept pushing out of my eyes. We were singers. We came into an old cafe where we worked, singing the air we breathe in perfect harmony, knowing Neil Young, Neil Young was in the dream. Neil Young was in there drinking coffee in the corner to hear us. The old setting was stagecoach-like, but Belgium style, ornate and beautiful, smelled of old rose and wood smoke. There was beautiful jewelry in a big jeweler chest on display. I had a guitar and several instruments. The lighting was dim yellow and a candle lit. It was fun. Everyone was such characters. And then suddenly there was a fire coming. We had to run. We grabbed everything we could. Running away, I saw a rough-looking man try to steal the jewelry. I said, "Leave it. The Grand Dame is coming back for it." Knowing it would burn anyway, I hesitantly grabbed some of the jewelry myself and ran with instruments and jewels dangling from everywhere. The fire was coming. I hurt myself running up steep hilltops and rocks to escape, climbing boulders with lots of other folks on smooth, well-placed rocks like granite. My friends were trying to help me up the steep, rocky slope. I continued to protect my instruments and bounty. I strained my stomach muscles trying to pull myself up. Fast forward, I set up a blanket down a beautiful path after the fire to sell my goods. I think I was in a new country, America, Illinois. Illinois. A new shop, but the robbers followed and tried to take my stuff until they were interrupted by hearing Neil Young walking up singing in our honor about the girls of the Blue Harp Cafe in Belgium back in the day. Actually, for KAP Helps, doing as much deciphering and analyzing that dream as I possibly could. Okay, so I'm just going to start at the beginning. The first thing that I looked at was the word old. Old represents your feelings of never wanting to lose your integrity. Old mindsets, tried, trusted, and true. Integrity, wiser choices. A cafe, reflecting, feeling good while waiting. Feeling good knowing something's being done for you, and feeling good in a social situation while waiting for something good to happen. Singing represents feelings of joy and happiness and freedom. Happy singing does. A cheerful mood and ability to persuade others with your joy. Now, drinking coffee itself is getting acquainted with a situation or a person, a new person or a situation. That's what drinking coffee is. The old wood smoked all the old furniture, and it was old furniture and antiques, stuff like that. It's old cherished ideas and values that you don't want to let go of, basically. Time-honored wisdom, something proven, worthwhile, worth keeping, something proven. Now, to actually dream of smelling something is your gut instincts. good smells is a good gut feeling about something. So that's really good that you had a good gut feeling. A rose is a symbol of love. So she had a good feeling, a good smell, a good gut feeling about a rose, which is love. So that's good. They had old feelings of sentimental value. The smoke smell is mystery. It represents mystery. Jewelry represents value and knowledge and self-worth and acquaintances and, what's the word I'm looking for? Family and value of the value. Jewels of your life, like your valuable relationships and commitment and feelings of status and self-worth. So they had abundant feelings of self-worth as they were feeling this good feeling of love and these old-fashioned ways of thinking. Next, they put an acoustic guitar, which means feelings of being really genuine, feeling of authenticity, and of even persuading someone with your genuineness, a desire to live a life that's more genuine. Okay, then they mentioned dim lighting. Dim lighting can mean avoiding looking too far deeply into a problem. Fun, they mentioned, which is good vibes, are prevalent and fun. It's always about the vibration in the dreams. They mentioned Belgium. Belgium is a mindset about pushing their own ideas first and only noticing their ideas first and only promoting their ideas, not listening to others. They mentioned a village. A village, social interaction that's not like very modern. It's very resistant to change. It may feel unsophisticated. An isolated social environment. They mentioned wearing dresses. So wearing dresses could mean feeling compliant and accepting. Noticing your hair in a dream is actually a train of thought that's really noticeable at that time. Like if you notice yourself staying up at night, or you notice yourself getting distracted, or you notice yourself, doing whatever thing, that's just symbolized in noticing your hair in a dream. It's a mindset. So it was an old-fashioned hairstyle. So it would be like an old-fashioned way of thinking, and she's noticing, I'm just going to say she noticed herself thinking in a really old-fashioned way in this old kind of timeless era, feeling the romance of the past love and the true love, and feeling a good vibe about it, but kind of isolated and kind of like in the past, it seems. And they mentioned drinking, which is taking it all in at once. But alcohol can mean enjoying everything being perfect, but also it can mean going too far. She mentions friends. So when you dream about friends in the dream, it's the parts of them that seem so amazing about them is parts, just like in real life, that you love about yourself. So everybody in your dream is a reflection of you. So if you say, oh, that person's so talented, oh, that person's so hardworking, or those are the first things you think about them, that's actually what you think about yourself. So you gotta give yourself that self-love. And also, dreaming about friends can mean support and help. Okay, she mentioned a party. It means behaving noticeably carefree with others. It can signify sexual behavior that's unusual. Okay, she mentioned pushing. She mentioned in the dream she had black bangs that she was pushing out of her face, and she kept pushing. And nothing ever really crazy would really happen because they're not really taking it too far. They're like the Joker in the class, but they're not like the really disruptive one. And then she mentioned singers, which always was like persuading. It could be persuading for really, really good, or it could be persuading for really, really bad. So, but in this dream, they were singing good, so they were really having fun. And this love that felt really good. It's probably really good. What else? Oh, fire. Okay, so fire, it can mean positive stuff. My mommy didn't like hearing about it in the dream. In my mind, it probably means danger. In her dream, it was far off, but she knew it was coming, so started running. So that's not really sounding too positive. So we'll just take that like that. What else is that? Oh, she mentioned running away from the fire, which means avoiding, wanting to avoid the danger. So that makes sense. Okay, she mentioned stealing, which means kind of like depreciating or devaluing the value of something, or not appreciating the value of something, or kind of like sucking the energy out of something, you know, making it less valuable. Stealing. That's what I always thought from the dream interpretation. And feeling unrecognized and undervalued. So she had mentioned that the old man was doing the stealing. So old means like established old ways of doing things, kind of in this way I was taught, and then more aggressive, more assertive. And so the old man was stealing, so something that was old and established was kind of stealing the value from this person, it sounds like. After feeling like they were kind of an antiquated, what is it? Antique reality, where it was kind of like isolated and kind of like in the past anyway. And now here comes the old establishment trying to take and devalue. She mentions jewelry again, and I'm taking it like worth, because we're talking about the guy stealing old and using old established methods, and like her worth, okay? She mentioned the fire again, the danger. She mentioned that she injured herself, and so I take that as a sign as my trying to just breathe and slow down and realize that you are the god of your reality. You're in control. Just really, there's a way out. Okay, we're gonna figure it out. She mentions going up a hill, which can be an obstacle, but the fact that, so she mentioned moving up a hill. Okay, so the hill in itself, it could be an obstacle, but she's moving up a hill. So she's overcoming a huge obstacle in her life, moving against a big challenge. And really, it takes patience and perseverance, and I salute you. She mentions boulders. Okay, that's a major obstacle or problem. Really kind comment. You guys put your comments. I'll totally try to analyze your dreams. Okay, so then she mentions climbing boulders, which obviously is overcoming those obstacles. So I'm so happy about this, because if the dream ends before you overcome the obstacles, I'm always left wondering, like, gosh, I want to go back and overcome those obstacles in the dreams that I will in real life. But she's overcoming them in this dream, and she got away from the fire, it sounds like. Okay, and then she mentioned smooth, well-placed rocks, which the smooth part, I would say, like, smooth sailing. Like, it's very nice, comfortable. And then well-placed rocks like granite, I would say, like, well-laid plans. You know, everything's like a well-laid path before you. Easy. There's no stickers, there's no rocks. It's, like, really nice. Okay, friends. She mentioned friends again. We know that the good and bad things we see about our friends, and in this dream it was positive things that she sees about those friends, whether they be loving and happy and joyful and beautiful, singing, whatever it is. That's the thing she sees within herself. Her higher self is trying to say, hey, you're awesome. And also, friends means like helping you help yourself. And she mentions protecting her bounty. So protecting is taking care of and protecting, obviously, and the bounty is integrity and self-value. So protecting that, you know, she made it across those obstacles, and now she's protecting what she has, her value and her talents. Okay, she mentions her stomach, which is your ability to digest circumstances and events in your life and to process things, you know? And she mentions having a stomach problem. And so that could symbolize difficulty in dealing with life's challenges. So it sounds like there might be a bit of a time, or this could be something that's just already happened. It could happen right now. It could happen in the future. I prefer my dreams to be like coming in the future, but they're not always. You know, it's about 98% that way. But sometimes it's just present. Anyway, I hope the best for this person because it seems like a lot of friends, a lot of good times, but a lot of challenges. That's life, right? So she's protecting her bounty, but she had stomach issues, so she's having a hard time processing the situation. And then she's pulling herself up. She pulls herself up, and I think pulling is like insisting on something, and up is positive. So insisting on improvement and progress, even though she's got stomach issues, she's going to pull herself up and insist on having a success and progress. I'm so happy about this. Okay, ascension, improvement, progress, and success. Okay, then she mentions, it seems like fast forward into a new time, like she's learned something, she's overcome all these obstacles, she's insisting on success. Fast forward to a new time, she mentions laying out a blanket. Blankets are security, comfort, and warmth. So it seems like she's in a really good place now. She mentions a path, the blanket she puts down right by a path. And that a path symbolizes a direction in life that's really easy to follow. So that's really good right now. Now, she mentions selling. She's selling her wares on the side of the road on a blanket. But selling is kind of convincing. So this kind of reminds me of, like, maybe she had to go get a new job and she's like convincing, like she had to learn all these new skills and she got success and she made it and she's got her what she learned and her value, and now she's like working. Could be wrong. Then she mentions USA, which is interesting. USA represents a mindset that insists on having independence, opportunity, and freedom. No limitations. It can be excessive though. She mentions having a shop or a new store, and that can symbolize thinking about something, doing something completely different and having choices. Like shopping has choices, but she's going to have the shop, so she's going to do something completely different. She mentions having robbers. There are robbers, like thieves, and I would think that just definitely means like feeling insecure and vulnerable. And then the robbers are following her. So following is something like a mindset that's hard to escape, or like a memory that's hard to escape. So it's good to do some spiritual cleansing and cord cutting. So that's like one of the longest dreams I've helped a lot of people, but that was really detailed. I'm very proud of KAP Helps for having such a great dream life. I commend you, because if I had dreams like that every night, I would be very happy. But some nights I don't even dream, but I usually do, and there's different little things you can do to make yourself dream more. I can go through that if you guys want. You can put it in the comments. But that was a really long dream, you guys. I'm going to leave it here. If you guys want me to analyze your dreams, feel free to either put them in the comments or write them in my email, which is in the description. Take care, you guys. Stay safe.